deal. So,
Okay.
So one time I hook up with this non-Jewish Oriental woman, and the next morning I said, "Hey, baby, you want to go to synagogue with me?" So we go to synagogue, nice Orthodox synagogue. Said, "You got to sit over there, baby. No, I'm going to sit over here. We'll meet after the services." And so she goes and sits down, and this mentally retarded chick, like, sitting next to her, and like starts talking to her all about me and how I've got a girlfriend in Las Vegas, and, like, just like, you know, speaks all this lashon hara about me, like, for an hour to like my new bitch. It's like it's just not sneers.
So that's your reason that you won't get near this woman in the van.
It scares me. Like, I don't like to be around the mentally ill.
What makes you think she's mentally ill?
Because who drives down the street and yells at a stranger, "Hey, you're looking for a shidduch," and tries to pimp out their daughter? Like, it's just so uncool. It's just so...
All right, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, people in the chat room, people at home, comment, let us know how you feel about this story. I'm not sure if I agree with him. Boy Wonder says, just go for it. Just hit it.
Chas v'shalom. Like, okay, I'll tell you what would happen. I remember once I was exchanging some emails with this woman, and she was like a bit of a celebrity. And so we met once for like 3 hours. We just talked, and then we arranged to have dinner a few nights later. And so we had dinner, and then I brought her back here. And she was like sitting over here, and I was sitting here, and a few minutes into our conversation, I leaned over and I kissed her. And then we started kissing, and then we like went over here and we lay down on my bed, and we kiss some more, and we take off our clothes, and she does something to me that's pretty grand, and then I do something to her that's pretty grand, and
way to not let us go more than an hour without a complete graphic sex story. Lady.
Then she leaves, and she's really into me, and she wants to make me her third or fourth husband. I don't remember. She's been divorced a few times.
She got money?
She got some, and the problem is the next night I meet someone who's younger.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to like slowly break it off with the older woman, but she doesn't take too kindly to that. Like, she gets really upset, and so she starts making all these blog posts saying what a lousy lover I am. She like calls me Thumper. And she said I'd just like kind of thump her, just like, I was like kind of like, what is it when you like drill into concrete?
Sandblast? Oh, jackhammer.
Yeah, she said I was like a jackhammer.
Like the cricket that died.
Yeah, she didn't mean it as a compliment either.
Oh, okay.
And she complained about the crickets.
She complained about the crickets, and you still didn't get rid of them?
And she complained that I put my hand over her mouth because she was screaming so loud. I didn't want the neighbors to hear. And she thought that was kind of like violating her to put my hand over her mouth while we were doing it. And so she like spills this all out on her blog. She calls my new girlfriend ugly, and like says all sorts of disparaging things. And it was just like a nightmare. So I kind of learned from that you have to be careful about the type of women that you have sex with.
Thank you for that. That's very important.
Yeah, I think
kids,
be
very
careful.
Important.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now, Ellen's in the room, so I thought that I would... Ellen asked me some questions.
Really?
Yeah, to
How come she never asked me questions?
Because she doesn't want to know your answer.
I like Ellen. She's got good grammar.
Okay,
She's got a lot of common sense.
Can I... Ellen, wake up. This part's for you. Can I do the questions?
Please.
Okay. This is a continuation of what we were talking about last week.
Does she like email these questions to you?
Yeah.
Wow. She never emails any questions to me. Go ahead.
Is that a problem?
No, that's fine. I don't care.
I feel bad for you.
That's all right. It doesn't bother me in the least. I'm a busy man, very busy. I didn't have time to
you're
take
running away
questions from
them.
random women, like emailing in, like, "Oh, you looking for a shidduch? You want my daughter?" Like, I didn't have time for this, but you go ahead and deal.
Okay, so last week when we were in the House of Reds, and by the way, I want to mention that it's no longer the House of the Cricket, because I think that thing is dead. You guys, we did a good job, did we not? I mean, you don't hear it going, ga, 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 which last
like
week...
a jackhammer.
like lady with the Asian broad.
This is the older white woman.
Oh, this wasn't the Asian one? Where did I go wrong?
The Asian one was the new one. There.
Never mind.
Enough about that.
I'll
Makes me sad just to think about it.
Okay, so last week we were talking about dressing Jewish, and the question was, this is why Ellen wrote to me, because it's a continuation of last week.
Mm-hmm.
Because the question was, did I answer the question?
Either that or she likes you more than she likes me.
Okay, so there's that. So the question was, did I adequately answer that question?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is not exactly, because there's more to the story. Because the question was, what's a bigger mitzvah? Remember we talked about that? Going to shul or
dressing Jewish.
Dressing Jewish, right? Or in your case, dressing like a woman.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So I answered all the questions, and I said, we said you can't really compare the two. There's no, like in 613 mitzvahs, there's not a list of like importance from one. It's not lined up. Why is that funny?
It's funny. It's like, oh, if you keep kosher, you're allowed to commit adultery.
Yeah, I would think that the adultery is... I'm not going to say. Okay, so Ellen wrote, can you get a heter for not dressing Jewish? Mm-hmm. And the answer is, sure, why not? Like, there's people like, if you had sports, you're going to say?
Spy for Mossad.
Yeah, if you're a spy for Mossad, you can easily get one. If you have a job that they require that you dress, goyish, you can easily get a heter for that. It's not a problem. Is it for the person wearing it? Is it for the... Why? In other words, why do Jews wear... What's the whole mitzvah or inyan to dress Jewish? Is it for the person wearing it? Is it for the other Jews to see it? Or is it for non-Jews to notice? And the answer is D, none of the above. The reason why we wear it is for God. Because God wants us to dress differently, so we do it for God. It's not contingent on other people seeing us dress that way. That's got nothing to do with it. Other people have nothing to do with it. Therefore, even if I never leave the house, for instance, because I have agoraphobia, and I never left the house the rest of my life, no one sees it, and I still get a mitzvah because God sees all. Mm-hmm. He sees what's going on inside your house, maybe even when you have doors closed.
That's for sure.
Even if you cover up the mouth of the person in the room.
Oh, I remember this girl came in and she wanted to give me a blowjob, but because I got these posters of Jerusalem, it freaked her out. So she made me put a sheet over the poster of Jerusalem before she'd go down on me.
You're sick. Last week you said that it didn't bother you that she had to like praise Jesus and do the Lord's Prayer before she would do you. This week, let's get rid of those before. It's like, what's coming next? Did any of the women ever say, I won't do... Oh, you did. You had the woman who said that they won't cut the beard. So you have, like, your limit. Mm-hmm. You have, like, there's, like, the thing you won't cross. You'll say amen to the Jesus prayer.
This is before my Orthodox conversion.
You'll say amen to the Jesus prayer. You'll cover this up, cover up the holy wall, but you will not take the beard off for anything less than 20,000.
Or a really odd check.
Right. But God forbid she should make you say that you're in favor of socialized medicine. That you really won't do. That's a whole... Don't go
Unless
there.
Unless she's really hot.
Unless she's really hot.
Tight.
Right. Oh, what if she was really hot and tight and she was in a van and her mom was trying to pimp her out?
That'd be open as long as she's really hot.
You have no scruples. It's like, ugh. All right.
God made me this way.
All right. So the next thing is, if there were no other Jews around, do you think you would still have such strong agoraphobic reactions? Right? This is Ellen's question.
Wow, she's really interested in you.
No, I don't think so. She's married.
That's right.
If there's no other Jews around, do you think you would still have such strong agoraphobic reactions? And the answer is yes, because I get that way with too many surfers in the water. I mentioned that in my essay the other day on Facebook, that the more people in the water, I don't care if they're Jews or not, and they're usually not Jews, the less chance there is of rabs entering the water. I have social anxiety. Or
how many gays in the bathhouse before you get uncomfortable?
Yeah,
can there ever be too many?
Right. Or if I'm on stage too long. I wrote about this in my book. I could be having the best time. I'm on stage, or I'm in front of an audience and I'm doing something, and they're all laughing and they're all tuned into me and they're going wild. They love me. But after 3 hours of that, I have got to go home.
Well, who could be on stage for 3 hours?
If you're in a show that goes 3 hours.
Oh, right.
Like I was at a Bruce Springsteen concert. He went 4 hours. I couldn't do that. He went 4 hours one night. I was at Grateful Dead would play all night. I couldn't do that because I would have to get out of there.
Were you born to run?
I was born